The quantum wake of the UES Hyperion rippled through deep space as Commander Maya Chen watched the holographic displays filling her bridge. The exploration vessel's sensors had detected something unusual, energy signatures that didn't match any known human technology. After 2 centuries of space exploration, humanity had yet to encounter another spacefaring civilization. But that was about to change. Analysis complete, Commander. Lieutenant James Harrison reported from his science station. The energy signature appears to be weapons fire, high-yield plasma weaponry, well beyond our current capabilities. Maya straightened in her command chair. The Hyperion was an exploration vessel, but like all ships in the United Earth Fleet, it was built with the understanding that first contact might not be peaceful. Show me. The main view screen shifted to display a distant star system. Flashes of light marked an ongoing battle between vessels too far away to resolve clearly. Multiple ships engage, Harrison continued. Based on mass readings, we're looking at capital ship-scale combat. Any signs they detected us? Maya asked. Negative. We're still outside their sensor range, and our quantum drive signature is masked. Maya considered their options. Protocol dictated they should report the discovery and wait for diplomatic teams to make first contact. But those energy readings suggested someone was losing badly. The flashes of weapons fire were becoming more sporadic, concentrated around a single vessel. Commander, Harrison's voice was urgent. I'm detecting escape pods launching from the losing vessel. Multiple life signs aboard, but their power systems are failing. Without assistance, their life support will crash in under an hour. Maya's jaw tightened. Protocol be damned. She wouldn't watch sentient beings die when she could help. Battle stations. Lieutenant Harrison, plot an intercept course to the nearest escape pod. Engineering. Divert power to forward shields. Communications. Prepare first contact protocols and emergency transponders. The bridge crew snapped into action as alert klaxons sounded throughout the ship. The Hyperion's quantum drive hummed to life, propelling them toward the battle. As they drew closer, the sensors revealed more detail about the combatants. The attacking vessels were massive, crystalline structures that seemed to flow like liquid metal. The defending ship was smaller, more conventional in design, but clearly outmatched. Multiple targeting locks, Harrison warned. The crystalline ships are turning toward us. Hold course, Maya ordered. Broadcast first contact protocols on all frequencies. Make it clear we're here to render humanitarian assistance. The response came in the form of energy weapons fire. Beams of coherent plasma streaked toward the Hyperion, only to splash harmlessly against their shields. The bridge crew tensed, but Maya allowed herself a small smile. The attackers might have more advanced weapons, but humanity had focused on defensive technology first. Shields holding at 92%, reported Lieutenant Sarah Wong from Tactical. Their weapons are powerful, but our quantum-reinforced barriers are diffusing most of the energy. Good. Begin rescue operations. Use our shield bubble to protect the escape pods during recovery. The Hyperion moved purposefully through space, extending its defensive screen around the nearest pod. The crystalline ships continued their assault, but seemed confused by their inability to penetrate the human vessel's defenses. Their attacks followed predictable patterns, suggesting they weren't used to adapting their tactics. As the first escape pod was drawn into their shuttle bay, Maya got her first look at the beings they were rescuing. The aliens were roughly humanoid, but their skin had an iridescent quality that shifted colors with their movements. Their eyes were large and multifaceted, giving them an almost insectoid appearance. One of them stepped forward, raising both hands in what seemed to be a peaceful gesture. I am Director Zara of the Scientific Coalition, it said through their universal translator. You have our eternal gratitude for this rescue, though I fear you have now drawn the attention of the Crystalline Dominion. They do not tolerate interference. Commander Maya Chen, United Earth Fleet, Maya replied. We saw sentient beings in need of help. That's all we needed to know. Can you tell us what prompted this attack? Zara's color patterns shifted to darker hues. We are researchers studying the ruins of an ancient civilization in this sector. The Dominion claims exclusive rights to all such discoveries. When they detected our presence, the alien didn't need to finish the sentence. Commander, Harrison interrupted. The crystalline ships are forming up for another attack run. Their energy readings are spiking. This will be much stronger than before. Maya turned back to Zora. Director, if you're willing, we could use any tactical information you have about their capabilities. We may need to fight our way out of this. You would stand and fight. Zora's patterns shifted rapidly. The Dominion's technology is far superior to most species they encounter. That is how they maintain their control. Maybe, Maya agreed. But humanity has learned that superior technology doesn't always guarantee victory. Sometimes innovation and adaptability matter more. She turned to her tactical officer, Lieutenant Wong, prepared to demonstrate why the United Earth Fleet believes in quality over quantity. As the crystalline ships approach, humanity was about to demonstrate why it was dangerous to underestimate a species that had spent its entire history overcoming challenges through creativity and determination. The real question was whether this first contact would lead to war or become the catalyst for something greater, an alliance that could challenge the Dominion's tyranny. The holographic display in the Hyperion's main conference room cast an ethereal glow across the assembled faces, human and alien alike. Director Zara's iridescent skin shifted through shades of deep blue as she manipulated the star chart, marking locations of Dominion activity across the sector. They call themselves the Eternal Guardians, Zara explained, her translator converting the musical tones of her native language. For millennia, they've claimed sole authority over all ancient technological discoveries in this region of space. Commander Chen studied the marked systems, noting the pattern of expansion, and they enforced this claim through military action. Not just military action, another survivor, Chief Scientist Kex, interjected. His crystalline exoskeleton caught the light as he moved. They maintain control through technological superiority. Any species that develops beyond their permitted level is eliminated. Lieutenant Harrison brought up sensor readings from their recent battle. Their weapons are impressive, but their tactics were predictable, almost ritualistic. Because they are. Zora's colors rippled with excitement. The Dominion doesn't innovate. They believe the ancient technologies they've discovered are perfect, unchangeable. Using them in any way except the prescribed patterns is heresy. Maya leaned forward, her mind racing with implications. But you were studying these same ruins. What did you find that made them react so violently? The alien scientists exchanged glances. Finally, Kex activated a secure data crystal, projecting new images into the air. They showed massive structures, clearly artificial, but with an organic quality that defied conventional engineering. We call them the Cedars, he explained. They were an advanced civilization that vanished roughly 50,000 years ago. But they didn't just disappear. They left their technology behind, deliberately, like seeds planted for future species to find. The Dominion claims these ruins as holy sites, Zora continued, but they don't understand them. They treat the technology like religious artifacts, copying without comprehending. We believe the Cedars intended something very different. Lieutenant Wong, who had been quietly analyzing the battle data, looked up. Their weapons, they're based on Cedar technology, aren't they? But they're using them inefficiently. Exactly. Kex's exoskeleton chimed with enthusiasm. The Dominion copies the forms but doesn't understand the principles. They've spent centuries enforcing stagnation when the Cedars met their legacy to spark innovation. Maya stood, walking to the holographic display. She traced the path of Dominion expansion, seeing not just conquest but fear. They're afraid, she realized. Afraid someone will understand these technologies better than they do, expose the lie of their superiority, which is precisely what humans have already begun to do, Zora observed. Your quantum-reinforced shields, they're based on principles similar to Cedar technology, But you've adapted them, improved them. You don't just use the technology, you understand it. The implications hung heavy in the room. Humanity had spent centuries developing its own path to the stars, guided by scientific principles rather than dogma. Now they had stumbled upon an interstellar empire built on technological plagiarism and enforced ignorance. We need to contact Earth Command, Maya decided. But first, I want to understand exactly what you discovered. What makes these ruins so important that the Dominion would risk open war to suppress the knowledge? Kex manipulated the hologram, zooming in on specific structures. The ruins aren't just repositories of technology. They're tests. The Cedars left challenges, puzzles that require scientific understanding and innovation to solve. Each solution leads to new discoveries, but only if you approach them with an open mind. And the Dominion can't solve them, Harrison concluded, because they won't experiment or innovate. They can only copy what they've already found, which is why they react so violently to any species that shows true understanding, Zara added. Our research suggested that the ruins form a network, each site building upon discoveries from others. The Cedars were creating a path for younger species to follow, not a template to copy blindly. Maya's tactical mind was already analyzing the strategic implications. The Dominion's technological advantage was based on theft, not understanding. Their rigid adherence to proper patterns made them predictable, but they wouldn't take humanity's interference lightly. We need to warn Earth, she said, but we also need to secure your research. The Dominion thinks they've destroyed your civilization's knowledge, but they didn't count on human intervention. There's more. Zara's colors shifted to urgent patterns. Our long-range sensors detected increased activity at multiple Dominion sites. They're mobilizing their fleet. This encounter may have triggered exactly what they've always feared. A challenge to their authority they can't simply overwhelm with brute force. Maya smiled grimly. If the Dominion thought humanity would back down from a fight, they were about to learn an important lesson. Earth's ships might be less advanced in some ways, but they were crewed by people who understood their technology, who could adapt and innovate. Then we'd better make sure we're ready for them, she said. Director Zara, Chief Kex, we'll need everything you know about their capabilities. Lieutenant Harrison, coordinate with our science team to analyze the Cedar technology data. If there are principles we can adapt to our existing systems, I want options. The real price of knowledge, Maya reflected, wasn't in its discovery, but in how you used it. The Dominion had squandered the Cedar's legacy, turning it into a tool of oppression. Humanity would show them a different path, one of innovation, adaptation, and progress. The question was whether the galaxy was ready for the changes that would bring. The UES Hyperion's engineering bay hummed with activity as human technicians worked alongside their alien counterparts. 3 weeks had passed since their first encounter with the crystalline Dominion, and Earth Command had responded with characteristic human determination. The Hyperion now served as a testbed for integrating Cedar principles with human technology. Commander Chen watched as Chief Engineer Rodriguez directed the installation of modified quantum field generators. The devices incorporated crystalline matrices provided by Kex's people, merged with human quantum manipulation technology. Nearby, Director Zara's team worked on decoding more of the Cedar database they'd managed to salvage. The integration is proceeding faster than we anticipated, Zara observed, her skin shimmering with pleased golden tones. Your engineers grasped concepts in days that took our researchers years to unravel. Humans have always excelled at practical applications, Maya replied. We see patterns others miss because we're not bound by preconceptions about how technology should work. A sudden surge of energy drew their attention. One of the modified field generators activated, producing a shimmering barrier that seemed to bend space itself. Lieutenant Harrison's sensors recorded massive data streams as the field stabilized. Incredible, Rodriguez called out, checking readings. The crystalline matrix isn't just amplifying our quantum field. It's allowing us to manipulate dimensions we couldn't even detect before. No wonder the Dominion's weapons seemed so advanced. But they use brute force, Harrison added, studying the data. They pump massive energy into copied systems without understanding the underlying principles. We're achieving better results with a fraction of the power. The ship's AI projected a holographic comparison of their old shields versus the new hybrid system. Energy efficiency has increased by 847%. More significantly, the new configuration can be adapted in real time to counter specific threats. Maya smiled. This was humanity's greatest strength. Not just using technology, but understanding and improving it. The Dominion had spent centuries enforcing stagnation, but they'd never faced a species that could reverse engineer their stolen tech and make it better. A priority alert flashed across the bridge displays. Commander, Lieutenant Wang's voice was urgent. Long-range sensors detect multiple Dominion vessels entering the sector. Their energy signatures are massive. They've brought capital ships. They're not wasting time, Maya noted. How long until they reach our position? At current speeds, 18 hours. Maya turned to her assembled team. Then we have 18 hours to finish our upgrades. Dr. Zara, what else can you tell us about their tactical doctrine? The alien scientist manipulated the holographic display, showing recordings of previous Dominion engagements. They follow strict patterns, believing deviation would dishonor the Cedars' technology. Their attacks come in waves of 3, always using the same energy frequencies. Because they don't understand how to modify them, Rodriguez realized. They're following a manual without knowing the principles behind it. Exactly, Kex agreed, his crystalline form vibrating with excitement, which means they won't expect this. He interfaced with the ship's systems, displaying theoretical calculations. If we modulate our shield frequencies in this pattern, we can create destructive interference with their weapon harmonics. Human and alien engineers gathered around the display, each contributing insights from their unique perspectives. The Hyperion's systems were rapidly evolving into something unprecedented, a true fusion of multiple species' understanding of Cedar technology. Commander, ARI interrupted. I'm detecting unusual energy patterns from nearby Cedar ruins. They appear to be responding to our modifications. Maya remembered what Zara had said about the ruins being tests. They're not just responding. They're recognizing what we're doing. This is what the Cedars intended all along. Species working together, innovating, evolving. Multiple ships dropping out of FTL, Wang reported. The Dominion fleet arrived early. 6 capital ships, multiple support vessels. Status of our modifications, Maya demanded. Shield upgrades are at 92%, Rodriguez reported. Weapons integration is complete on the main arrays. Secondary systems are still in progress. Maya straightened in her command chair. It'll have to be enough. Battle stations. Let's show the Dominion what happens when you face an enemy that actually understands the technology they're using. The massive crystalline ships of the Dominion emerged from FTL like avenging angels, their weapons already charging. But this time, the Hyperion wasn't running. This time, humanity would demonstrate why innovation and understanding would always triumph over blind repetition. They're broadcasting, Wang announced. Audio only. This is High Commander Vex of the Eternal Dominion. A harsh voice filled the bridge. Your interference in divine matters cannot be tolerated. Surrender now and accept obliteration. Maya's response was calm but firm. This is Commander Chen of the UES Hyperion. We've studied your technology, understood it, and improved it. The age of your enforced stagnation is over. Stand down, or witness what happens when species work together instead of following your dead-end path. The Dominion's response came in the form of energy beams powerful enough to shear a planet in half. They struck the Hyperion's hybrid shields and shattered into prismatic cascades of harmless light. The principles that Kex and Zara's people had spent years studying, combined with human innovation and quantum engineering, had created defenses the Dominion couldn't comprehend. Return fire, Maya ordered. Show them what real understanding of Cedar technology can do. The battle that followed would reshape the galaxy's balance of power forever, proving that true strength lay not in blindly wielding power, but in understanding and improving upon it. The Hyperion's hybrid weapons struck with surgical precision, targeting weaknesses that only a true understanding of the technology could reveal. The battle between the UES Hyperion and the Dominion fleet illuminated space like an artificial nova. Maya watched as another crystalline vessel's shields collapsed under the precise targeting of their hybrid weapons. But even as the Dominion ships reeled from the unexpected resistance, more were arriving. 5 more capital ships detected. Lieutenant Wang's hands flew across her tactical display. "They're trying to surround us." Maya had expected this. The Dominion wouldn't accept a challenge to their technological supremacy without committing overwhelming force. But she had a surprise of her own. "Right on schedule," she smiled. "Area," broadcast the signal. Across the sector, hidden transmitters activated, carrying a message that had been prepared weeks ago. Data streamed out on frequencies the Dominion never monitored, frequencies discovered through actual understanding of Cedar technology. The message was simple. The time had come. "Multiple FTL signatures detected," Harrison announced. "They're not Dominion configurations." Space rippled as ships began emerging from faster-than-light travel. But these vessels weren't the crystalline structures of the Dominion. Each design was unique, representing species that had been forced into hiding by Dominion persecution. "The Arcturian Defense Fleet stands with Earth," a resonant voice announced over the comm. Their organic-looking ships moved with fluid grace, already deploying advanced sensor jamming systems. "The Proxima Collective joins this battle." Another voice, accompanied by the arrival of vessels that seemed to bend light around them. Ships that had been hiding from the Dominion for generations, waiting for a chance to fight back. More announcements followed as fleet after fleet arrived. Species that had been studying Cedar technology in secret, developing their own innovations while hiding from Dominion persecution. Each brought unique perspectives and technologies, all compatible thanks to weeks of preparation and coordination through human diplomatic channels. "Impossible." High Commander Vex's voice crackled with rage. "These species were cleansed. Their technology was purged. You only destroyed what you could find." Maya responded calmly. "While you were focused on maintaining your technological monopoly, these species were learning, adapting, and preparing. Humanity just helped them coordinate." The bridge crew watched as tactical displays updated, showing the true scope of what humanity had accomplished in 3 short weeks. While the Hyperion's battle with the initial Dominion force had drawn attention, Earth's diplomats and scientists had been reaching out to other persecuted species. Each had contributed their own understanding of Cedar technology, their own innovations that the Dominion's rigid doctrine had never conceived. "All allied ships, this is Commander Chen. Execute Battle Plan Prometheus." The combined fleet moved with coordinated precision. Each species' unique capabilities complemented the others, creating a symphony of technological innovation that the Dominion's rigid tactics couldn't counter. Arcturian sensor jamming merged with Proximan stealth technology, guided by human tactical analysis. Crystalline matrix weapons developed by Kex's people synchronized with quantum field generators, their effectiveness multiplied by actual understanding of the principles involved. "Their formation is breaking down," Wang reported. "They can't adapt to multiple innovative attacks simultaneously." "Because they don't know how," Harrison added. "Their entire doctrine is based on using Cedar technology exactly as they found it. They've never developed the ability to improvise." Maya watched as the Dominion fleet struggled to respond. Their powerful weapons fired in the same patterns, following the same sequences they used for centuries. But now they faced enemies who understood the technology's principles, who could adapt and counter in real time. "Commander," ARI interrupted, "I'm detecting massive energy signatures from all nearby Cedar ruins. The network is activating." The holographic displays shifted, showing ancient structures coming to life across the sector. Patterns of energy connected them, forming a web of light that seemed to pulse with purpose. The trials. Zora breathed, her skin shimmering with excitement. The Cedars weren't just leaving us technology. They were waiting to see who would understand it, who would learn to innovate and collaborate rather than simply copy. As if in response, new data began streaming through the Hyperion systems, information that had been locked away for millennia, waiting for species that would use it wisely. The Cedars had created their technical legacy, not as a finished product to be worshipped, but as a foundation for growth and cooperation. Multiple Dominion ships are powering down, Wong reported. Their crews, they're surrendering. They're asking to defect. Maya nodded. The Dominion's hold over their people had always been based on the lie of technological supremacy. Once that lie was exposed, once people saw what real innovation and cooperation could achieve, the Empire's foundation began to crumble. Accept their surrender, she ordered, and prepare to receive their crews. It's time they learned what the Cedars really intended. That technology isn't meant to be hoarded or worshipped, but understood and improved upon through collaboration. As the combined fleet secured their victory, Maya knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was awakening to a new era, one where species would work together to build upon the Cedars' legacy rather than fight over it. Humanity had sparked the change, but every species would contribute to what came next. The age of enforced stagnation was over. The age of innovation and cooperation had begun. The Great Hall of the former Dominion capital world buzzed with activity as representatives from dozens of species gathered. 1 month had passed since the battle that broke the Dominion's power, and the changes sweeping across the galaxy were just beginning. Commander Maya Chen stood at a window overlooking the crystalline spires of the city, reflecting on how much had changed. The Cedar ruins had been more than just repositories of advanced technology. As their network activated, it revealed a message left 50,000 years ago. A challenge to find species worthy of becoming their successors, not through blind copying of technology, but through innovation, cooperation, and understanding. Still hard to believe, isn't it? Lieutenant Harrison joined her at the window. A month ago, this was the center of an empire that suppressed technological progress. Now it's becoming the galaxy's largest research center. Maya nodded. The former Dominion capital had been transformed into a hub of collaborative innovation. In chambers that once housed religious ceremonies worshiping ancient technology, scientists from different species now work together to understand and improve upon the Cedars' legacy. Commander, Director Zora approached, her skin shimmering with excited patterns. The combined research team has made another breakthrough. We'd like you to see this. They followed the alien scientist to a vast laboratory, where the crystalline architecture of the Dominion had been merged with technology from a dozen different species. At its center, a holographic representation of the Cedar network filled the air. We've decoded more of their message, Zora explained. The Cedars didn't just leave technology behind. They left a path for evolution itself. Each discovery, each innovation, brings subtle changes to those who truly understand it. Chief Keck stood before a complex array of instruments, his crystalline form resonating with the energies they were studying. The Dominion thought they were preserving the Cedars' legacy, but they were actually preventing its true purpose. The technology was meant to change us, to help us grow beyond our original limitations. We're seeing it already, Harrison added, displaying biological scans. Species working directly with Cedar technology are showing accelerated neural development, enhanced cognitive capabilities. But only those who understand the principles, not those who merely copy the forms. Maya studied the data. Humanity's quick grasp of Cedar principles hadn't just been good fortune. The technology itself was responding to their willingness to learn and innovate. The same was happening with their allies, each species developing in unique ways based on their understanding and contributions. The Cedars weren't just another advanced civilization, Zora continued. They were cultivating their successors, planting seeds of technology that would help younger species evolve. But it required cooperation, innovation, and understanding. Qualities the Dominion's dogma actively suppressed. A soft chime announced the arrival of High Administrator Vex, former military commander of the Dominion, now a leading voice for reform. "We were so wrong," he said, his crystalline form dimmed with humility. "For centuries, we thought we were protecting divine knowledge. Instead, we were preventing the very evolution it was meant to spark." "You couldn't have known," Maya assured him. The Cedars designed their legacy to respond only to genuine understanding and cooperation. No single species could have unlocked its full potential alone. The holographic display shifted, showing the spread of joint research initiatives across the sector. Former Dominion worlds were being transformed into centers of learning and innovation. Species that had hidden their discoveries for generations now shared them freely, each contribution accelerating their collective growth. "There's something else," Harrison said, bringing up new sensor data. "The Cedar ruins aren't just activating. They're changing, adapting to our level of understanding. It's like they're waking up, becoming more than just repositories of knowledge." Maya remembered the battle, how the ruins had responded to their combined innovations. "They're not just tests or trials anymore. They're becoming tools for whatever comes next." "The next stage of evolution," Zara agreed. "The Cedars believe that true advancement comes not from copying what came before, but from understanding it and building something new. They left us the foundations. It's up to us to create what comes next." Looking out at the transformed capital, Maya felt a sense of profound possibility. Humanity had sparked this change, not through overwhelming force, but by doing what they did best: learning, adapting, and bringing others together. The Dominion had tried to preserve the galaxy in stasis, but they could never have stopped evolution's natural course. "So what comes next?" Vex asked, his tone suggesting he already knew the answer. "We keep learning," Maya replied. "We keep innovating, cooperating, growing. The Cedars left us a foundation, but the future we build on it will be our own." As if in response, the Cedar network pulsed with new energy, its light reflecting off the crystalline spires of the city. The message was clear: this wasn't an ending, but a beginning. Humanity had helped break the cycle of stagnation, but what came next would be created by all species working together. The galaxy was awakening to its true potential, and the journey of discovery was just beginning.